Okay, next video. So you have a whole bunch of enemy cards and enemy AI cards. Enemy cards have a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 I think. But it's the same wolf, but it's just a wolf with bigger stats. And the enemy AI cards also are, there are 688, so that means that for a book from book 1 has a timber wolf with enemy AI. Book 2 also has a wolf with enemy AI, but the AI are different, so they have they hit harder and are higher level. And then, well, you have the guard separators, enemy separators, so a whole big stack of cards to flip through, a la the seven continents. Guard dashboards, the rulebook, reference guide, this rulebook, that reference guide. So spiral bound, as you can see. I really hope that these two will be A5, not this size. It's too big. You don't need it that big, but yeah, well, they don't listen. So here you have the components. It's just called components, but they're all chips. So you see repeated everywhere the word chip, which is not useful because it doesn't distinguish anything. It's just, it should be called chips, and then you have black single sort. So if you are to grab a red fear chip, for example, or green heart chip, I think the enemy will instruct you. I always wondered what the order was in icons. It's very hard to make an order in icons, but normally you can sort alphabetically. The bottom part is the 8 heroes. Let's show it like so. And then you have the skull things. These are for travel, for the travel bag. This is also for travel. This is also for travel. So actually, you have an end of page here, and it continues like so. So the columns. So this page is to be read from leftmost column down to the bottom, then the next column, and then green and green are in sequence, and the reds are in sequence until here. It's not ideal, but I think these are the basic parts that you start your first encounters and stories with, based on what I've seen. Foreteller. Foreteller is not required, but I think given the quality of the narration, I don't think you want to read it. You want to hear it, and then you have these nice sound effects. So actually, I think it will only hurt you even if you are against apps like I am. It will actually hurt your immersion if you don't get Foreteller app. It's about €7, I think, and everything except the rulebook and the reference guide are voiced. The component diagrams, the card anatomy is unchanged, except for they put here a slash to signify that this is the active AP area, and this is the used up AP. The action points are little cubes, and they move to after usage they move down. This is good because if you have your icons, your cubes here, you see where they go to after you move them. This is a bit unfortunate because the positive, the buffs, in technical terms, the buff chips are placed on top of this, so you'll after the first you won't see it. So I would have preferred that they put the icons in the corner, but they told me that this was final and could not be changed. Another thing that was improved was that there was a disconnect between the areas where you put the gems and the spaces where you put the cards that use the gems, and the gem spaces were put on the bottom, and now they belong to each other, so that's more intuitive. I don't remember I have seen this X before. It's the discard area. Okay, so it's a discard of chips, and this is a useful thing because if you discard it, then you can still partly see the X. And this should be changed, but they refused. Okay, this is the enemy dashboard. This is a enemy dashboard. When you travel, you can get up to 4 enemies, and they come always in lines, on a front line and back line of 2. The being in the front line or in the back row can have some effects based on their AI card that you draw. But again, as you can see, lots of dead space on the left and on the right, and on the bottom and on the top. This is unfortunate because in Europe we tend to make things more efficient. So you could try to cut it up, but it's cardboard, so it will never show nicely. So I don't have a solution for this, except for overlaying them, and then still you will have one such space. But in the first part of the game, I don't think you will encounter 3 or more enemies at once. Then the rest is pretty intuitive. You have the enemy, the wolf itself, the card that the AI is active for, and then the discarded cards. And unless the AI is referring to the discarded, you can easily simplify this by drawing the top pile of a deck, and after usage of the AI card, you just tuck it under. So that saves you 1/4 of the space. And if you see this, it's an action point. Sorry, a bit under the weather. It's an action point active, used up from left to right, and here you see it from top to bottom. But if you change this to top to bottom, it could easily fit here on the left, and then you would have a much less broad diagram. And it's a pity that they just don't want to change it. And yes, I've mentioned it on a private Discord. But whatever. Okay. We can live with this, I think. maybe I'll just draw my own enemy dashboards, something like that, and then print them. Okay, component diagrams. This is what was earlier. So the rarity star, it's not explained. You would expect it to have in the reference guide a rarity under R. So let's take a look. Rarity. Nope. And this is a bad sign, of course. If you don't know what rarity is, does it even play a role? Now, I'm over 10 minutes, so it will be. Let's take this up quickly. So it looks like nice books, and I'm going to read them cover to cover. This is the mini map, or a mini. No, this is not a mini map. This is a small section of a map. So you have now also blue, red, green, whitish, and they called yellow, and the orange colors. So the color coding is better, the typography is better. Yeah, so small improvements, but not on the setup on the table. This is a minimap. Minimaps come in two sizes, with one that gives you free travel, that's the green ones, and one that you have to roll for encounters, just like a normal. And they have a skull in the corner, plus the color of the nodes is yellow. So double visual feedback. That's very good. Then let's see. Okay, so I can go to 12 minutes. The bag has not changed. The game setup has not changed. There are dual dial trackers. The text overall uses now capitalization for game mechanics. So that's nice to know. Everything was either caps lock or